Welcome to the Deer River Activities Rules Meeting. The following are the items to be presented. Please contact the activity office at any time with questions or concerns that you may have about activities. The following two slides are our playing time and participation philosophies for the middle school and varsity levels at Deer River. Communication is the most important factor when building a successful program. The following slides will explain the communication needed that you should receive from your coach, that a coach should receive from the parent, the process for discussing things with a coach or advisor, and the appropriate items that should and should not be discussed. The school website is the most important tool a parent can have who has a student involved in activities. The following slide will demonstrate how to use the school website and especially the important Notify Me button that will notify all parents of students in athletics when there are changes or cancellations to scheduled activities. This is our school website. Obviously, here's the school activities button. This is the page that's going to monitor or give you the most information, and you can also sign up for email and phone updates from here. From the school activities button, you go to schedules. This is going to give you up-to-date schedules as far as any sport that you may want. If you're planning a vacation in the future, all the schedules for 2019-20 school year, for example, are on here. You just go to view schedules and click on whatever event you may want, and you can either print them off or do with it whatever you want. There's also a mobile app that you can get for on your phone. Click on that button here, and that will get you the mobile app that will get you all the calendars and all the events. This is obviously this week. It'll give you those week by week to show you what is coming up for that week or that month. But if you want the season one, you just click on here and it will go to it. The most important button on here is Notify Me. By clicking on Notify Me and clicking the sports that you want information on that your kids may be participating in, it will send you an email or a text message every time the school makes a change. So let's take the spring, for example, where it's very, very busy and many changes due to weather. Anytime we cancel a game or it gets changed from one site to another or from one town to another, or the game time maybe gets changed by a half an hour, or if there's a cancellation of a game, anytime we enter it into the school computer, it automatically sends you an email or a text, which will save you many, many hours with phone calls and changes and miscommunications with your student, because it is all there. So that Notify Me button is the most important button. Other things that are on here, here's your handbooks and your forms. Anytime you need a form, you do not have to get them in the office. You can print them off right here, as well as these are all the forms you may need for the year, or if your child is getting a physical, and our handbook with all the rules and regulations that we have as a school in there. All the sports have a website page. A lot of their record books and things like that are saved on here. Here's all our clubs and organizations, same things. Fine arts, our weight room and fitness center hours, our activity boosters, whether it be athletics or fine arts, and the contact information for those. If you would like to request the use of some of our facilities, whether it be a classroom or a gym, this is the site where you'd go and click on here and fill that out, and we'll come into us to see if it's available. And of course, Pay Schools is a place where you can go and pay online any of your students' needs, whether it be activity fees or lunch or any other fees that they might come across, like iPad or other things, uniform, replacement, what have you. The following slide is a explanation of the Minnesota State High School League website, which has valuable information about area schools, such as their addresses and maps to find their location. This is the home page of the Minnesota State High School League. There are a few things here you can look up that will be a benefit to you. One is every school in the state is on here. So if you wanted to find out the address to a school, any school that we may be going to or traveling to, it will be on here, as well as our information. At every one of those buttons, here's the school's address, there's a map of where the school is located. This is our page, so it will show all of our coaches in each sport, their email and their contact number. And if you go on here and click on the sport, you will find their schedule and what the past scores were. I would not rely on this for scheduling information as far as future dates, because the school website is going to be much more up to date, especially with the Notify Me button. The following 3 slides is an explanation of the Minnesota State High School League eligibility process for violations of Bylaw 205, which is drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. The students and parents need to realize first is that once the forms are signed, first time, whether that be in 7th grade or their senior year, after that, the rules will apply for the rest of their high school career. That is year-round application of the rules, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no matter where they are at once they sign that form. It is not just during the school year or during their season. It is a year-round eligibility qualification. After saying that, there are 2 categories. Category 1, which is athletics, and Category 2, which is fine arts and other activities. The penalties for these 2 categories are different. But first, let's discuss what the eligibility violation can be. A violation of Bylaw 205 for drugs, alcohol, and tobacco will be the consumption, possession of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, or paraphernalia associated with any of these items. The penalties for violation of Bylaw 205, which is drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, for Category 1, which are students in athletics, are as follows. First violation shall be 2 weeks or 2 events, whichever is longer. Second violation is 3 weeks or 6 events, whichever one is longer. And the third and subsequent violation penalty is 4 weeks or 12 events, whichever one is longer. The penalties for violation of Bylaw 205, drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, for Category 2, which are fine arts and other activities, are as follows. First violation, 10 hours of community service. Second violation, 20 hours of community service. And third violation, set up a meeting with the schedule of the school administration to determine appropriate community service hours. Also, students that are in Category 1, which are athletics, and Category 2, Fine Arts will serve a penalty in each area. The next area of eligibility and violation for the Minnesota State High School League is sexual, racial, religious harassment, violence, and hazing. These type of things are covered in Bylaw 209 and have the same penalties for first, second, and third time violations for Category 1 and Category 2 students. So the penalties will be the same as those discussed earlier for chemical violations. Bylaw 304.2 denial is the Minnesota State High School League bylaw that covers investigations into previous discussed eligibility issues, such as Bylaw 205, a chemical violation, or Bylaw 209, a harassment violation. When an investigation has been started because of an allegation against a student athlete or a Category 2 fine arts participant, and the student is interviewed, if they deny the charges or allegations brought forth to them, and is later proven that they did illegally participate in one of those two bylaw areas and are participating in any league sport, they shall be disqualified from all interscholastic athletics or Category 2 fine arts for an additional 9 weeks on top of the penalty originally given. Minnesota State High School League Code of Conduct violation covers pretty much everything else that many parents ask about where student athletes or fine arts participants may be in violation of a Minnesota State High School League statute, which more or less states the administration at a school can set a penalty at their choosing if a student violates a code of conduct area, which more or less are listed below in letters A through E. Parents many times ask what happens to students that get suspended from school for assault or have things that happen in the community and participate in activities. This is where code of conduct violation would come into play. The last area of the Minnesota State High School League eligibility policies would be a violation of academic policy. These policies are established by each area individual school and are governed by their school board. The Deer River High School academic policy for students participating in athletics and fine arts is as follows. The next 4 slides go into school policies and procedures, which answer some of the questions parents have on day-to-day issues that go on for students and activities, such as what forms do they need to hand in, what are the activity fees, what is the policy on school attendance, and how does transportation work to and from events. The following 4 slides explain some of these areas. The Deer River High School is very fortunate to have 2 very active and successful booster organizations, the Warrior Athletic Boosters and the Warrior Fine Arts Boosters. The information for these two associations and their contacts, if you would like to get involved, are located on the school website. These organizations are not there just for financial support, but also to help us celebrate the successes of our students in all of their endeavors in grades 7 through 12 and help it make it a successful experience for all. Thank you for taking the time to review this program on Deer River High School activities. Again, if you have any questions, please contact either Lee or myself at the following emails or phone numbers. Thank you.